So I think we're all here, so we can call the meeting to order at 7:31. We can start with the approval of minutes from the last meeting, which I believe you circulated shortly after the meeting, right, Christina?
Yep.
So, motion to approve those.
Second.
Okay.
So,
Approved?
yes.
Do I hear yeses? Okay, great. Minutes approved. I don't see anybody on for public participation. So we can go right into the meat of the agenda. We have school waste initiative as our first item for discussion. Is there anything we need to kind of cover off with that one?
So I've been talking with so there's a statewide school waste working group that I'm a part of.
Mm-hmm.
That's run by the DEP. And we had a call. There's like subcommittees a part of that group. There's a composting subcommittee that I'm a part of, and there was a call for that on Monday. And so I brought up the situation about the trays just to see if there's any advice. There was a woman from North Andover who has been working on composting in North Andover schools for a while. And she had mentioned, they buy a bunch of certified compostable products, and she said Andover has been buying them for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I emailed Dustin, our food services director, just to tell him, like, ask him what the timing of the new contract is because I know that they set up new contracts for purchasing of the products, like it's on like an annual basis. So I was just asking him like what the timing is for the new contract. If it's possible to buy, mostly BPI certified products, making sure that we only get those things every time so we don't run into this issue that we're having. And the only thing he said, like, and I had mentioned, like, oh, I heard Andover's like doing this, blah, blah, blah. He was like, oh, we're so there's like a bunch of schools that do like bulk purchasing together, so they're in this like co-op purchasing, and he said that Andover was like in their co-op, and how are they doing this? Can you get more information? So I emailed the woman that I had met that works in North Andover. She gave me the Andover school director contact. I emailed her today. I haven't heard anything, but yeah, just trying to basically understand how we can only get the BPI certified products and not have any like substitutes and having to like stop and start just composting.
Yeah. Cool. So I don't know, Russell, if you knew the background on that, but we had started trying to use compostable trays in the elementary schools, and we thought it was going well, and then we realized some of them weren't compostable after all. They were being subbed in when they ran out of compostable ones. Is that right, Melissa? So
yeah,
they
so
had
it's all the schools.
Yeah.
It's actually all the schools have these new trays, but the problem is when they go to reorder more, sometimes they don't have them in stock. So they substitute them with trays that are not certified compostable.
Yeah.
So we've been running into this, like, the composting that we're doing in the elementary schools. We wanted to start composting these trays, obviously. And then we saw that, Woodville, for example, didn't have the right trays, but it's like, we can't keep track of like when they do or don't have the right trays.
Right, exactly. That would be impossible.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that woman at the school district gets back to you. That sounds interesting. Co-op situation.
Yeah.
Just a question. I don't know the backstory, but like, are reusable trays not an option? Like
we need dishwashers.
You need dishwashers for them. Okay, got it.
We need dishwashers. We need the room for the dishwashers. We need the kitchen staff that can run the dishwashers. Okay. It's a whole thing.
Got it. Makes sense.
I mean, back in the day, we did it somehow.
was-
I don't know
Yeah.
why we can't again.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I always
Yeah.
had that plastic tray, and
Yeah.
we did, yeah. So
I mean, I know that like the North Andover said that they had like ripped out the dishwashers a long time ago at their schools, and like I don't know why, but like I don't know if we had dishwashers at one point and we ripped them out. I have no idea. But I know like there's a lot of schools, for example, you know, Greenwood and Walton that just don't have enough space in their
right.
kitchens
Yeah.
at all. So it would, you know, be an issue for them.
Yep.
You know, I've been trying to get the new high school to have dishwashers, and that's even a struggle. It
Right.
hasn't even been built. So
I know.
there's just a lot of pushback with dishwashers.
It's disappointing.
So, I mean, the fallback is these certified compostable trays, which, you know, we're going to try to make it work and figure out how we can get them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I guess before we move on, I was taking some notes on that, but I wanted to check. Are you taking notes on this call, Christina? Are you
Yes,
able
I am
to? Okay,
taking, yep,
great.
I'm
I
taking
forgot
those.
to ask before we
Yeah.
started, so I took some just in case, but thank you.
Yep, I have an updated template that's a lot more clean and streamlined, so we're ready to go.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, then is there anything else on the school waste front?
I guess there was a bunch of food rescue that was picked up for school vacation, right?
Yep. Yeah, we got a ton actually. I picked out a bunch from Galvin, and I know Tiana did a couple of the schools, and I think Francois hit the rest of them. So I don't know what the final numbers were, but I think it was a good amount that was salvaged, which is great.
Right.
Yeah, and I know that Cheyenne's trying to work on kind of a new plan for next year,
Mhm.
since she may not have the same availability. Um, and I think, you know, she's been doing it for so long that she
Right.
just need some sort of plan B.
Mhm.
So there's that, the DEP grant for that I think I sent to you guys. I think the deadline is mid-May. So I don't know if we have that on the agenda at all.
We have the MADP micro grant. Yeah, that's actually
Okay.
the next item. So if we're ready to
Okay.
move into it, we can. Perfect segue, Melissa.
So yeah, that was like one thing that I had sent to Cheyenne, you know, about for food rescue. But then like, you know, if there's anything that we want to, you know, try to apply for to get that grant, you know, it can't be anything related to composting and recycling. They're like, you know, we're moving past those things. We want something else. So like, for example, the like repair cafes, or you know, I sent it to the library because they had like that tool library.
Mhm.
So I think they're more focused on like reuse this time.
Let me see if I can find what you sent. Oh yeah, recall this. Yeah, due May 15th.
And
Okay.
Anne said that she would help, you know, apply if we came up with something. You know, I would love to get some dishwashers for the schools,
I
but
was just gonna say that, okay, but then you still run into the manpower problem, right? Like
yeah,
if they had them, they would
and
still,
space. I mean, the
yeah.
space is an issue. I know that Anne actually talked to like the town plumber and
Um,
to see about dishwashing. And he said that he was looking at pricing of commercial dishwashers and found them priced anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000.
Whoa, per dishwasher? Sheesh. So we could buy
Commercial
a
dish,
fraction of a dishwasher with this
yeah.
grant. Yikes.
So
That's
yeah, you
so
said
great.
space location's a big issue, as well as the cost. And yeah, I think the biggest thing besides cost is really the space and the staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad.
I mean,
So I think
you think the dishwasher would make up for the staff, like that's the whole point, right?
Right. You would think that.
That's the whole point. You don't need a lot of people, but
what do you
But I
mean?
guess you need fewer people when kids are just throwing stuff in the
right. Yeah,
garbage.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would make a difference, and I think it would actually require more staff because they would have to do the dishwashing.
Hmm. Loading and unloading.
Loading and unloading, yeah.
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 Well, I guess the repair cafe thing is interesting. I mean, I don't want to hop around, I guess, too much, but did you end up going to that one in Melrose over the weekend?
Yeah. Yep. So I went to the one in Melrose. I talked to Elena. She was the one I think that talked to you, Melissa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really nice event. They did a nice job. It sounds like I talked to her for a while, but it's like mostly volunteers. So they all had like tip jars. So there was everyone from people repairing lamps. There were people like sharpening knives. There was a section for like sewing, things like that. There was a little bit of everything, and she just kind of gave me the breakdown of how it works. I guess it works differently in each town, but the way that Melrose did it was all volunteer, and they had their tip jars, and you basically tip them for their time, and then it's like a free thing, and you might pay for like a spare part at cost. That's kind of the way it goes. They had coffee, they had donuts, like things like that. There were a lot of people there. It was at like the senior center, so I don't know if it was just an older population. I don't know if it was because it was at that location or not, or just like the nature of something like that. There were a lot of like older people there. So the accessibility piece was something I was thinking of like when I was there. I was like, it just has to be accessible to people to bring in like they're bringing in things like lamps and bigger things. But yeah, I think she had coffee with Tiana today, she was saying.
Oh, nice.
So I'm sure Tiana has a ton more information, but she just kind of was explaining how that would work with us if we were to take on that as like an event. So basically she does like a welcome call. We pay her for her time. And I kind of had to explain we weren't, we're not part of the town, I guess. Like I think she thought we were like town of Wakefield. Like we could use their funds and everything. So I kind of explained we had a separate, right? Do we have like a separate fund that we can use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have our own budget.
Yeah.
So is she talking to Tiana about the repair cafe? I don't want to like double work.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I said once she said she was having coffee with Tiana, I was like, oh, okay. I think we're good. And I was like, why don't you just give me the lowdown just so I'm here, and I'm gonna have this meeting this week. So at least I had, to share. But it sounds like Tiana might be taking this. It sounds like that, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'll ask her.
Yeah, just the fact that she was having coffee, sounded like it was, she had something to talk about. So yeah, but it was really great. It was a nice thing, but
Cool.
it did seem like we would have to do a lot of work in terms of gathering those volunteers and figuring that logistic out, figuring out a space. There was like a lot of question marks that she was like, this would kind of be on you guys, to do. I was like, oh, that's a lot.
Was it Zero Waste Melrose that organized that?
I think that was part of it. At the food pantry was there too. Those people. It was kind of cool. They had the food pantry people, they had like a big scale and they were weighing everything that got fixed as a way of like showing data of what doesn't go into like a landfill. I thought that was kind of cool. But I don't know if that was their only role there or if they were like part of the event, but seems like a couple people at play.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did she say if there was like some kind of any kind of vetting? Like, do they have people have to show credentials, or they're just like, oh, I'm good at tinkering with things, I'll volunteer, like that kind of thing?
Yeah, she's like, the
Okay.
basic thing is like, I'm gonna try to fix it,
Yeah.
and I might break it even more, but like that, she's like,
Yeah.
that was kind of like how it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she said it's a lot of people who have like lamps or things like that have a nick in it that they don't want to throw out because it's meaningful. So she's like, there were people epoxying little things.
Mm,
So
nice.
yeah, so it
Well,
was, yeah.
maybe she would share her roster of people, and maybe some of them want to do it again,
Yeah.
especially if they got some tips.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like people who were like passionate about
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
cool.
yeah. And we have a really nice community here. So I feel like there'd be lots of like, I can imagine that there'd be some people that would be like, oh, I know how to fix these things and maybe
Right.
I can help.
I'm
So
sure you're right. Yeah.
yeah, hopeful. But yeah, so it seemed like a good event. I
Did
liked
she
it.
happen to
So
say, oh, you go ahead, Melissa.
I was just gonna say I was just looking at the picture that I sent you guys. It was
Yeah.
hosted by London Men, so that is Elena's business.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So she was there. Yeah, she was the main, but
So she didn't say like she would organize anything or like,
she said she'd do like a welcome call. Like it starts with a welcome call that she would talk with us and then our volunteers that we like, whatever, we gathered up, I guess. And then from there, she would need like a space. What else would she need? Tables. Like there were like some logistics about this
Mm-hmm.
that we would have to figure out. So even like at this one, she was like, there's rooms upstairs. So they had like the sewing people upstairs and they had loud, noisy things downstairs. So it was like separate. So I think it just depends on what we can make work.
was there a lot of people there? Like getting stuff
No,
fixed?
I mean, there were, but I feel like there was a lot of workers there. You know what I mean? Like there was
Yeah.
a lot of like people at the table. I was like, oh, who's here to like actually have
Mm-hmm.
things vetted? There were a couple. I mean, there definitely were people bringing things in. I don't know, I don't know if you guys have a feel for the need here, if that would be a big hit
Yeah.
but it was at a senior center. So it definitely had like a senior vibe to it.
Yeah.
But I also went in the morning. So I don't know if it changed over the course of the event.
I mean, we have two shoe cobblers in town. Like
Yeah, right. I know.
make money somehow, so people want to get their stuff fixed.
I know. I agree. I actually brought a shoe that my daughter just broke. And so I had it in my bag. So I was ready to go. But you do have to, it's a free event. So it was free in Melrose and it is free in other places as well. Cause I was asking if they charge for this or something. So she said
Yeah.
she said it's free. Some places they do it differently everywhere.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's helpful, but
I mean, I was thinking we would have it at the Maricol, that like
Yeah.
front room that we had our
Mm-hmm.
retreat at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if that's big enough space. I guess it
yeah.
depends on like how many different fixers we're gonna have. Um, I
There were
wouldn't
a
think
lot
we
more
would.
than I thought. Like I
Yeah, I
didn't.
wouldn't think we'd need that many.
Yeah.
Like one sewer, one lamp fixer, like one
Yeah.
of each category, you
Yeah.
know. Um, did you get like a list of like which type of like fixers we need or
So she said it differs all the time, but in general, it's this like sewers, upholstery people. Then there's like an electronic person, like toy trains, lamps, that kind of thing. Then there's somebody who does like things that have chips in it. So they have like, I think she does that. She's the one who does like, she epoxies little things and um, like ceramic things like that. And then there was a knife person. So I wasn't sure about that one. He was just sharpening
Like
people's knives.
sharpener.
Yeah,
You
he was
mean,
just sharpening. I mean, I could
I would
definitely
do that. I
use
would take my
that.
knives in to be sharpened. Yeah.
I think I do too. That was
Yeah.
probably the one I was most interested in. I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
this would actually be very helpful.
I mean, there's like mobile like knife sharpening
Yeah,
companies that we could just like they could
hire. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah, I mean, something like that.
Cause that could be like a draw. you know?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it could be.
I think thinking about some things that would be a draw would be a good conversation to have. You know, there were some there that like lamps. I don't know if you guys have lamps. I have
I
like,
don't really have a lot of
I don't really
lamps.
have them. Like it was definitely
Yeah.
those older, big, heavy lamps that you would, we kind of grew up with. I don't know if there's just some other ideas of things that could be fixed that would be more applicable to people in
Mhm.
town.
Yeah, I feel like sewing and knife sharpening would probably be like the
Yeah.
biggest.
Yeah.
But I mean, if she has like a list of like,
Yeah, I think she does. I think she does all that. It's just we would have to I think have that welcome call, I guess, and she would explain everything.
so
But
she didn't explain like how she gets the people or,
no, I think it's per town. Like
okay,
I think, but she said I think that the Melrose people, like she would probably reach out to them to do,
Travel. Yeah.
yeah, to do the Wakefield one.
okay,
Yeah, so I think that it's just people who are passionate about fixing things and are happy to help.
yeah. I mean, we can always reach out to our, list of followers or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah. So, but I think Tiana is gonna get like some detailed info, I'm guessing.
Did she say what her fees were?
So it was $100 for the welcome call.
Okay.
So the welcome call was 100. And then after that, I'm not sure. She said it was per hour. That's what she said. I didn't get into specifics, but she said basically we would pay her per hour of work done. And it depends on how much we need her, if she's there the whole time, that kind of thing. So
$100 an hour is pretty high.
yeah, yeah, that's a nice salary. So I didn't really push too much further. I just said, okay, per hour and $100 for the welcome call.
Yeah.
So
So, yeah, I'm just looking at this grant.
oh yeah, is that something we could
Yeah.
apply for with this?
So, the developer expand programs to repair used furniture, appliances, electronics, bikes, or durable household goods for resale or distribution. May include purchase of tools and supplies, setup of training program. So I don't know if we do like a one-time thing, we could get this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Yeah. I wonder, will we have to spend it all on that? I mean,
Right.
we wouldn't come close to that. Oh, a maximum award. Okay. So they probably could have much smaller ones too.
Yeah.
Is it a complicated form? I haven't looked at the actual form to fill out.
No, I haven't looked at it either, but I'm sure it's, you have to give lots of details on what you're proposing.
Mm-hmm. There are two opportunities to apply in 2024. Round one, May 15th, round two,
Okay.
November 15th.
Yeah.
Oh. When would we be looking to do this event?
Um, well, we had also talked about that, swap. the sports equipment
Sports
swap.
equipment swap,
Oh,
yeah.
the swap, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, we probably don't want to do it. I feel like the summer is just so busy. I don't know.
Would you combine the two? Like the two events?
Oh, that's,
Maybe too much.
Gotcha, okay.
I don't know. It's a thought, but we need a lot bigger space.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking if you get the space, if you have everything down, you know, maybe it's easier to do it, but it might be a lot.
I mean, we could get like the big gym and the AmeriCal.
Right.
Yeah, I guess they need like an indoor space. They probably need like outlets and stuff, right? So it
Mhm.
couldn't be like an outdoor thing in the summer. Well, it says here, if we have questions, we can submit them to this woman, Janice Pare, before April 30th for the first round of applications. So if we have any questions, we can
Okay.
compile them in the next few days and send that in.
Okay.
I
It
don't
says
know.
develop and or promote statewide community repair fix-it events. Set up a community repair space. So that's basically what we'd be doing.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
it.
Of
Yeah.
course, it was like the last one on the list.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, actually, I feel like that's, I don't think it's a one-time thing. So develop or promote the statewide community repair and then set up a community repair space, which is like a permanent space.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of this is like, they want you to like develop programs and have like permanent.
Like ongoing.
Yeah. I don't think they will accept like a one-time thing.
Interesting.
It's just
But-
my
Yeah.
opinion.
Could we like spread it out and commit to the next 5 years or something of doing, or 3 years of doing this or
Like one a
something?
year.
Yeah, like one a year for the next 3 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a workaround, but just to
Yeah.
have.
Mm-hmm. I can ask Janice too.
Oh, that's a good question for her.
If
Yeah.
we want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, send her
Yeah.
that question. Like
I'll
we're
send.
thinking about applying for the grants. We have an idea to do like a repair cafe. If we like commit to doing one per year for the next 3 years, would that qualify or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Awesome.
Okay. Did you want to talk about other options for things to apply to, or just kind of do some thinking on our own and maybe come back on the next call? Because there's a round two if we don't end up, submitting before May 15th. What do you guys think?
Well, are we meeting? We're not meeting before then, right?
No, we wouldn't meet before
Yeah.
May 15th. So if we
So-
want to submit for that one, I think we'd have to get our act together pretty quickly.
Yeah, maybe like we can wait to hear back from Janice, and if our idea is like, okay, then move forward, and if
Yeah.
not, then we're probably gonna have to go back to the drawing board and.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
email her right after this call, so we can get that out there. All right, then next up we kind of talked about the repair cafe. Do we want to discuss the sports equipment swap a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we had said maybe late summer was a good time for that. Did we say that? Like heading into back to school, or am I
Yeah.
misremembering?
Kind of
Yeah.
threw that out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And would that still be part of the recycling and sustainability event?
No, so that's
Yeah.
been rescheduled for the end of June.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like the
so
20.
this is separate. This is
separate, yeah.
all right.
I mean, I guess it could be. I don't know. Are people still doing like spring cleaning stuff around that time? Like I'm like full on into spring cleaning stuff right now where I'm trying to like get rid of stuff. I mean, that might be an incentive for people to bring in stuff to swap. I don't know.
So you think like June is better?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, we could
I
always,
don't know, I feel like with like fall sports, you're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
old
you're more
stuff
in that
in
mindset.
summertime, and then you're
hmm
like, I need to buy new stuff for the fall.
hmm
Yeah, that's true.
I think that was our initial thinking.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely true. That's when I think about it, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're also like buying new school clothes at that time and
Right.
doing like the whole check-in of what we have for the school year.
Right.
Yep.
Okay then. Um, and that would probably, well, I guess we wouldn't necessarily have to have that be an indoor thing, but it's safer from like a weather perspective if we did it like at the Civic Center again. Is there a fee to borrow to rent out those rooms?
Yeah,
Oh, there is.
I don't remember how much it was. Let's see, I have it in my little budget tracker.
Russell, do you play any sports?
Yeah, I fence, which isn't really a seasonal sport.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
cool.
wow.
So
Where
do
did
you,
you do that?
The senior center.
Oh,
yeah, Wakefield has like a program, right?
Mhm.
cool.
Do you feel like you have like sports equipment laying around or like your friends have it like in their garages that they don't use or anything like that?
Not really, because the
Alright.
fencing uniforms are adjustable, so you don't really grow out of them.
Got it. So for fencing.
But I'm sure my friends have like hockey stuff.
The hockey
and-
stuff, like soccer cleats, shin guards, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the room, I don't think we had to pay for the room. What I remember was just food that we had to pay for. But oh, they had something on their website.
So do you think how we would manage it would be like a call for donations or people, so we know we have stuff at least to like have people come and it's not just like empty tables.
I was just thinking
And
that.
and then yeah, I just was hoping or like imagining like, a very sad turnout or something and like
Right.
there's like no stuff there.
Mhm.
But if we got people to maybe donate some stuff in advance, at least we could know there was
Bunch of
stuff
things.
people could look at. I don't know. I mean, I think we talked about the question of like, then what do you do with it if nobody takes it? But um, yeah, my only other thought with that is that I have taken things back to play it against sports. Like my kids did soccer and like didn't really need the cleats, and I just like sold them back. It was a little, a nominal amount they gave me, but I got them out of the house basically.
Yeah.
I guess that's always an option. Um,
Yeah, I mean, we can find somewhere like maybe the Boys and Girls Club
yeah,
would take it. Like there's got to be places like you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think we need to pay for the
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that is good.
so they have an online calendar. So we'll be looking for August.
hmm
Yeah, I mean, if we do it on like a Saturday or Sunday,
Yeah,
they really just have stuff during the week mostly.
yeah.
Uh,
that makes sense. I mean, we could, I don't know if this is allowed, but we could do like a, in search of post on that Buy Nothing group if people are looking to get rid of some stuff, so we had a little inventory.
Well,
The
the only
admins
issue
might
is
slap our
like,
wrists. I don't know if that's allowed, but
the only issue is
Right.
like collecting it all, like a bunch of it like ahead of time, like who's gonna collect it? Is it gonna be like a drop off spot?
Right.
yeah,
You know,
Somewhere.
like,
I know. I guess that'd have to be like a volunteer thing. I mean, I can help collect stuff around town. I don't mind doing that, but yeah, like the logistics of it, just figuring it out to make it a
I mean,
desirable event.
we could do like a drop off like night or something, like
Hmm.
beforehand
Yeah,
at Maricol,
that's true.
where people can just come in one night and like drop off their stuff. I know that that's kind of how they do it with like, the book sale or like the
Yep.
clothing swap. Like
Mhm.
you go in and you drop off stuff ahead of time, and
Mhm.
I guess we'd have to figure out if like that's the only time people could drop off. They couldn't drop off during the event. They would only come in, pick up stuff during the event. Like we'd have to figure that out, I guess.
I feel like people could drop off during the event too.
Yeah.
No,
Mhm.
bring, take, yeah. I just don't want it to be like, the very beginning of the event and there's like zilch there and someone comes to look for stuff and they're like, oh, this is a bust. That was just kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at a couple of local ones that, I just did a quick Google search, but there's one in Amherst, and the way they did it was they put a box at each elementary school and high school, I guess, and then they put it out through the PTO and said all their donations, so people would donate at the school, and then you'd collect that, and then they had the event after.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Kind of like we
Harder in
did.
the summertime though.
Yeah, so I think that would probably line up more with our June timeline, I'm
Yeah.
guessing. But it would sort of be the same as the candy wrapper concept, right?
Mhm.
Boxes, except this time it would be sports equipment, and then
Yeah.
we would collect that.
When does school end in June?
I think it's the 14th for, well, for my kids who are kindergarten and younger.
Yeah, I think might be the 21st. Russell, do you know it like by heart?
No.
Oh, you should. The last day of school. I feel like it's definitely that week.
Yeah.
Juneteenth is the 19th, so I feel
Yeah.
like it's right around there. So
Yeah, mine finished Friday the 14th, but I think they're a day or two before other people
yeah,
because
I
they're so
think,
young.
yeah,
Yeah.
it might be the following week.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
the elementary schoolers get a week before the middle and high schoolers.
Oh,
Oh, they do?
I think
You guys
so.
go a week later? I didn't know that.
I think it should be the
Maybe
opposite.
because they don't have like final testings and stuff.
Oh yeah, maybe that's it.
So I mean, that doesn't give us a ton of time to put this together.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Well,
we could do like the collections the week of June 10th or something, and
mhm.
then have the event like the next week.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say I know it's a pain to store these things, but you don't have to necessarily have it like right after. I can store some things, if we need to in
Yeah.
the basement or whatever. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
but
same with me.
yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
maybe they could even store it at the Maricel.
mhm.
If
But
there's
yeah,
enough.
that's a good thought to like take advantage of the schools and you know, the PTO newsletters and all that stuff before.
I think that's our population for people who
Right,
are kind of reaching out to anyway.
right, totally.
I'm just wondering though, like if people are gonna be like done with school, thinking about like school sports and stuff at that point. They're not gonna want to go necessarily get new stuff at that point, right? Because you have the whole
Yeah.
summer, your kids are gonna be growing all summer. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I just feel like I understand like we wanna get them before they go off to summer, but like
Mhm.
nobody's gonna be thinking about new stuff until August.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna get a ton of crap, and I don't think anybody's gonna wanna come to the swap, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm,
They're definitely gonna be more giving in a giving mood than a maybe
taking.
take.
Um, hmm,
I mean,
I mean, you could push it till September.
we're in all summer, I don't know.
Yeah. Um,
well, I don't know. Maybe there's some like call for donations through like Parks and Rec, or like some of the local camps. Like I know the Academy does a camp. I don't know if they have newsletters or anything for that, but maybe they could help. I don't know if we wanted to do like a call for donations later in the summer.
right.
There are other examples, Christina, that you found, like.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. So one is through a Parks and Rec, and they do 2 drop-offs. So there's 2 drop-off nights. They're only an hour each or 2 hours. And then they have, okay, so they have one drop-off that's like a 2-hour window. Then the second drop-off is like an hour before the event, and then people are able to shop for the new stuff.
What's the time of year like these are happening?
This one's in March. So that one passed. I saw an April one. This one was May. This one, what's this one? March 24th. Seems like spring is when they're April 1st, March 17th. I mean, I'm also searching in April, so these
Yeah.
seem to be in the spring. Yeah, these are all spring ones. But it's the same sort of concept, everybody drop off your things and then. Oh, it does have specifics on what not to donate. So like no bikes, no hunting gear,
Hmm.
and no helmets. I'm gonna guess that might be like, do helmets lose their,
Yeah,
right? If like they,
Oh, their safety, like
yeah,
the
their
styrofoam
safety.
speaking
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. So maybe it does say
a
that,
good point.
but maybe
yeah.
like a list of,
We're definitely gonna have some rules and.
yeah, there's gonna be some rules. Yeah, for sure. But yeah. But the same concept, drop off at some point and then not buying, shopping at some
Yeah.
point.
Okay. Well, I guess if we're not gonna try to get something in before the end of the school year, we can probably revisit it in like another meeting in early summer or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I sent you, I don't know, did I send you guys the one they had in Melrose? It was in March.
Oh, they did have one?
Yeah,
How
so
did it
they
go?
have, yeah, they had a list of approved items. And they had, so theirs was 11 to 2 on a Sunday. And they did drop off and ended at 12:30 that day.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, that seems like the easiest.
Mhm.
I mean,
But
I wish,
again, like, I don't think people like, if it starts at 11, there's like nothing there. Like, I understand Lily what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
if
yeah.
somebody's coming to like find something and nothing
Yeah,
in the beginning, it's like,
there's
Yeah.
nothing. I get that.
Mhm.
So that was put on by Zero Waste Melrose and also London, so.
Well, we could always try the Buy Nothing group as a way to get people to donate some things, you know, it's not a school time, but I don't know. At least try it. It's not
Yeah.
very high effort nor high heavy lift.
So how about,
Um,
when we're at the festival by the lake, we're having a, right, table
yeah,
there, so,
yeah,
I don't know if we want to use that. I mean, if we have the event sooner, like, we could collect there or something, but obviously, I think we're thinking,
well, we could definitely advertise there.
or advertise, right, if I make a flyer or
Yeah.
something that we can, like, be, for what we're asking and what they can't have,
Yeah.
you know, something like that, talk about it.
Could collect at the recycle day too. When is the festival? Was it June 8th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we
And
can
Yeah.
definitely get a feel for if people are interested too, and
Yeah.
if they have, you know, if people are coming in like, no, I don't really have anything, or, oh, that
Yeah.
would be great.
That's true. We could sort of like take a pulse.
Yeah,
see if people,
yeah, exactly.
are interested.
well, that's the, I mean, that's the other thing, you brought up a good point, like we have that recycling day on the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
And we did try that toy swap, which was a bust, so I don't know.
Well,
This-
but maybe it's more of like the bring your stuff day. You know, if people are like thinking recycle, like get rid of stuff kind of day, maybe they
Mhm.
want to bring some sporting goods stuff that they're done with and donate
And
it
then
that
you're
day,
saying have the swap on another day.
and then have the swap on another day. Yeah. I don't know.
Or if the swap is a bus, we can like donate it to the Boys and Girls Club or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Where is it gonna be stored after the event, if we collect it all, and then it's gonna be swapped on another day?
I think that would have to be like the basement situation, right?
Oh,
Like
okay,
our
right.
basement.
So it's like collecting everything, and then we would be able to take inventory, I guess, and at
I
least
guess, yeah. Take some inventory and
take some
yeah,
inventory and figure it out. Okay, that
put
works.
it in some boxes. Yeah, there's the thought. Uh, but yeah, I like the idea of kind of chatting about it at the lake, getting some interest. And
Yeah, I mean,
reminding
I think the recycling event would be a good day for collecting it for sure,
Mhm.
since everybody's dropping off stuff anyway.
Yeah.
But then I guess the question is when we would have the actual swap, because that next week is July 4th.
Mhm.
So I don't think that would really be a good week.
I mean, it definitely allows us to collect more.
Yeah.
You know, like if there's a drop-off location of some sort that you'd say, okay, at any point prior to the event or something, I don't know. You just collect more things.
Mhm.
But the summer's tricky, you know, people are away.
Right, right. Well, we
Yeah,
could
I mean, I guess we just need to decide whether, we're gonna try to collect either at the schools or the recycling event in June, and whether, we wanna have the swap in the summer or wait until August, or, I honestly don't have a huge amount of basement space to spare
Right.
for the whole summer.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah. I know.
Right. I'd prefer for it to be closer.
Quick.
so that
Yeah.
Just a quick turnaround.
Well, what about like late July? Is that too early? Like a month or so after the, I mean, we don't have to decide today, but
What's the new date of the event again? The recycling,
June 29th.
June 20th. Is it possible to do it at a farmer's market?
the swap.
I'm just thinking of like
Yeah.
a Saturday where there's a lot of people.
Good foot traffic. Yeah.
Traffic, like something where we could bring it all, but I don't know if you have to pay for that.
We'd have to talk to the market manager and see, you know, whether we could have some space to do that, or we could just like set up next to the market. I don't know.
Right, like something. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've set up for my business over there. They've had a couple of things and, you know, I have like one of those big tents that we could use and tables and things like that if we needed. It would just be a question of whether we could be there or not.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they've had like, you know, different other events next to the farmer's market and that like open space next to the market.
Right.
I just don't know how that gets organized.
Right.
Because it's not part of the market. It would be like, you'd have to talk to the town or something to arrange that space, I guess. Or reserve that space, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, no, I don't know either. I was just thinking of
No,
instead
I
of
mean,
people
it's
to
a
like
good,
that, right?
yeah.
Like an isolated event, like they're all there.
Yeah,
So
that's a good idea.
it's a good thought for sure.
Absolutely. Who do we ask about that?
who do we ask?
I could ask Anne. She's knows all of what to do with the Wakefield lands probably. So I can ask her.
Okay.
I mean, and we would hope that, you know, we're not a for-profit thing, you know, like everything
Right.
there for profit, like there's people all selling things. So
Yeah.
hopefully they make a little space for people. Like
Yeah.
that.
I don't think we need to be like competing with anybody.
No,
Yeah,
like it's,
right.
yeah,
Yeah. Exactly.
I think anything, we might bring more people if there's
Yeah.
people dropping off equipment and they might go to the
Yeah.
farmer's market. So
Right.
Yeah, let me email Anne and see if
Okay.
that's an option.
Cool. Good thought.
So we could probably collect the stuff on June 29th.
Yep.
And then figure out which market we want to be at, I guess.
Yeah, like Saturday.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, we just have to figure out what makes sense there. But yeah, I guess first let's see if like that space we can even like reserve.
Mhm.
Kind of random question. When does the farmer's market start?
Mid-June.
Yeah. June. Or did you mean the time or did you mean the date?
The date.
Oh, the date. Okay.
It starts out on the 15th of June. I don't know what day we're planning to be at the market. I guess it wouldn't really matter if we're doing.
I don't know if we know. I thought Tiana said that the original date wasn't going to happen anymore. And
Yeah.
so she
I mean,
reported
I
that.
don't think it matters if we're doing
Yeah.
Subcmte too, and we're gonna be
Mhm.
table.
Yeah.
So would it be better if they were on the same date?
I don't think
No,
necessarily.
it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that kind of lines up if that works
Yeah.
out.
That could be good.
That could be good.
All right. Anything
But
else
yeah, I
on
guess
that?
if we're gonna collect the stuff at the 29th event, we need to come up with a list so that we can advertise it, because
Right.
they like Representative Booker Garabee, and they usually like advertise like a month before.
Right. That's right.
I can make like a flyer. Is that what you mean? Like a
Well, no, we just need to make a list of items.
a list of items. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can. I mean, I can start that document. Is that helpful?
So I can send you guys the list from Melrose, and then
Okay.
maybe if you
Perfect.
just saw like other ones,
Yeah. Right.
like maybe we can just compile a bunch of examples.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that sounds good. Yeah, just email that and I could just kind of compile it all.
Okay, cool.
And then maybe what's not allowed to.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. The last item we have is the battery recycling situation, which is not happening at the library anymore. I
Right.
see.
They were worried about having a whole building of paper and maybe some fire hazard with the batteries. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. I
Oh.
assumed it was like a safety thing with like little kids, like picking
Yeah.
them up or something, or, putting them in their mouth or something.
Because they were concerned when I gave them some rules that the company wanted, like some of them bagged, some of them not bagged, and they're, whoa, why does some of them need to be bagged? Like, is there a
Oh.
fire hazard or something safety thing we need to worry about?
Interesting.
So
Huh, I wouldn't have thought that.
yeah. So yeah, we're gonna, use it at the June 29th event, and then any space, I'm sure we're gonna have some space left over. We can just put it at town hall.
That makes sense. That's easy. Is there a time limit, or is it just like until we fill the box kind of thing?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that was funny because I forwarded the note from Tiana, like battery recycling, to a couple of friends, and then as soon as I did it, I got the cancellation, and I was like, "Oh, just kidding! It's all canceled."
Yeah.
I know. I was talking to I had been talking to the assistant director of the
Mhm.
library, and she said yes, but then she needed to go to her boss to get the approval, and then she said no, and I had already said broadcasted it and whatever.
It's all good. Sounds like a good plan B. So cool. Are there any matters unanticipated?
I don't think so. So I guess, so Lily, you were gonna contact about that grant.
Yep, I will do it right now after this.
I'm gonna ask Anne about the space next to the farmer's market, and Christina's gonna put together examples for the list.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, then set the date for our next meeting. What are you looking at here? Into May. Where are we? Like the 21st of May? Is that doable for you guys?
Yep, that should work. It's the week before Memorial Day.
Yep, that works.
That works for me.
Okay, is that good for you, Russell?
Yep.
All right, 21st of May, 7:30. Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, thank you guys. I think we can motion to adjourn. Motion approved? Yes. Yes. All right, meeting adjourned, 8:30 Eastern. Thank you all. Have a good
Thanks.
evening.
Have a good night.